Stories of survival. We're hearing from people who were inside the Orange County bar that was the scene of a deadly mass shooting. You're watching The Rundown. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Winston. The community is remembering and mourning the 3 innocent people killed in the shooting at the Cook's Corner Bar in Trabuco Canyon. Meanwhile, detectives are working to piece together exactly what happened and why. The gunman has been identified as retired Ventura Police Sergeant John Snowling. Detectives say his wife, Marie, had filed for divorce last December. She was shot and survived the shooting on Wednesday. Among 6 victims who were hurt, 2 are in critical condition. Thursday night, a vigil was held near the bar to remember those killed and injured during the mass shooting. Candles, prayers, and heartfelt messages were left behind. A woman who was sitting with the shooter's estranged wife is now sharing how she narrowly escaped death. Betty Frusciante was holding back tears when we spoke with her, and she said she went to Cook's Corner Wednesday night just hoping to have some fun with her friend Marie Snowling. She described hearing gunshots, watching her friend get hit in the face, and eventually coming face to face with a shooter who was holding 2 guns.
And then he makes his way around to the front of our table, and then he hit her in the face. Boom! Bam, 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 bam. Like 7 shots. Just, and it didn't hit me nowhere. I mean, I'm like, and then I could feel it like, and I'm like, oh my God, they're bullets. It's real.
Frusciante says her focus now is to just keep praying for her friend Marie and the other victims. We're also hearing from a survivor who may be one of the last people to have encountered the gunman. Rich Klein, who has a carry and conceal permit, says that during the chaos inside Cook's Corner, he drew his weapon and came face to face with the killer. He says as soon as he heard the first gunshots, he dove to the floor and reached for the gun in his waistband.
Load a round into the chamber, cocked it, and I raised myself up above the table, and I followed him. And at this point, he saw me, and he was standing at the door. There was an exit door. And our eyes met, and I was center mass, and he left.
Klein says instead of following the gunman, he decided to stay inside to help other victims. He's being credited for literally taking his shirt off his back to dress someone's wound. We're also hearing from the local cover band that was playing at the bar when the shooting happened. In all the chaos, 2 of the band members were shot. Band members Debbie and Mark Johnson were on stage when the gunman walked in and started firing. They hid behind a speaker just feet away from the gunman as it all went down. 2 of their band members were struck by bullets.
But he was very calm, very methodical, never said a word. 2 small guns. It was clear, it was like pop, pop, pop.
And I see our bass player who's kind of sprinted out the, I'm gonna call it the back door. I go check on him and he says, yeah, I've been hit. And he said, I think it's just a flesh wound.
The 2 band members who were shot, Ed Means and David Stretch, were released from the hospital. Debbie and Mark are thankful they're okay, but their hearts still ache for the victims who died and the others who got hurt. Our coverage continues on air and online at NBCLA.com, also on our NBC Los Angeles streaming channels. You can also sign up for breaking news alerts on our NBCLA app. We're learning damages across Riverside County from Tropical Storm Hilary have topped $126 million. Meantime, the rain from Hilary was beneficial for the state's drought. For the first time in years, 93% of California is completely out of drought status. You can see on the latest drought monitor that only the very northern tip of the state and the southern California border with Arizona remain under minor to moderate drought. Some of you may be wondering, do we get more rain or sunshine in the forecast? Well, let's check in with meteorologist Belinda Leon, who has the answer.
Temperatures have been below normal lately, but we're going to feel that summer sizzle very soon. Over the weekend, it's going to get warmer as high pressure over the central part of the country expands west in our direction. Skies will be sunnier to start off the day as that marine layer slowly shrinks, and then we get to the peak of the heat next Monday and Tuesday. Here's what I'm talking about. Triple-digit temperatures are being felt over the central part of the country right now, but over the weekend, that heat will expand in our direction, and the risk for heat illness will be rising. Here's an example. In San Bernardino, 94 Friday, Saturday 97. Then we get into triple-digit territory. Sunday 101, Monday 104. As of now, we have a heat watch that will be in effect early next week for the low desert, but heat advisories may be issued for everyone else. We got to practice good heat safety, stay cool, and hydrate. Have a safe weekend.
Former President Trump is using his mugshot for fundraising. He was arrested in Georgia Thursday for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election in that state. Shortly after his release, he did something he hasn't done in 2.5 years. He returned to X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. The 77-year-old posted his mugshot there and on his campaign website, along with an appeal for donations. The former president insists he did nothing wrong.
We have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think is very dishonest.
This is the fourth indictment this year for the former president. The district attorney in Georgia asked the judge for an October 23rd trial date, something Trump opposes. Police in Boyle Heights have arrested 2 people in the murder of a teenager, and one of the accused is a teenager himself. A 14-year-old boy and a 26-year-old, Michael Monares, were both arrested for the deadly shooting of 16-year-old Alfonso Ramos. He was playing basketball at Evergreen Park during a Friday Night Lights event last month when he was shot several times. Police believe the 2 suspects are connected to at least 6 other murders in the area. This was the 3rd shooting in recent months at one of these Friday Night Lights events. You may have noticed more people are getting sick. COVID cases are on the rise again. The LA County Department of Public Health says this is the 5th week in a row that we've seen an increase in cases. LA County is reporting an average of 512 cases a day. That's 35% more than last week. And this doesn't include home tests, so the number of infections is actually much higher. Over 400 people are hospitalized with COVID. That's a 30% increase from last week. LA County leaders recommend taking precautions and staying home if you're sick.
As you know, Kobe played his entire 20-year NBA career as a Los Angeles Laker. In front of the place known as the house that Kobe built, we are going to unveil his statue so that his legacy can be celebrated forever.
And that was a surprise announcement from the Lakers on 8/24, the day the world celebrates Kobe Bryant. Kobe's wife, Vanessa Bryant, revealed a Kobe Bryant statue will be unveiled on February 8th at Crypto.com Arena. He'll become the 6th former Lakers player to be honored with a statue. The late comedian Andy Kaufman got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame Thursday, nearly 40 years after he died of cancer. Kaufman's family was on hand, as was one of Kaufman's co-stars from the TV hit show Taxi. Here's NBC4's Ted Chin.
So the second boy, he say, I thought you had them.
When Saturday Night Live began, Andy Kaufman was there with his foreign man character that would become one of his signatures. And one of his most famous skits was highlighted in the film Man on the Moon, with Jim Carrey as Kaufman singing the song from Mighty Mouse.
Here I come to save the day.
The long pauses in between revealed an eccentric comedian that saw himself first as a song and dance man. His imitation of Elvis Presley won raves, performed here on NBC's Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Thank you very much.
Kaufman famously said he had never told a joke in his life, yet influenced a generation of comedians.
And I felt emboldened that I could do it because of this goofball pioneer that had come before me.
I considered him a comedic genius. He was incredibly inventive. He was brave. His comedy was daring.
Kaufman also made his mark on the hit TV show Taxi in the late 70s and early 80s. His co-star was Mary Lou Henner.
Andy was a provocateur. He irritated people. He was always so damn interesting, and I adored him.
And you never knew what was going to come out of Andy. And the thing is, he was like a nice, Jewish boy from Great Neck.
Kaufman died of cancer in 1984 at the age of 35. His imprint now on Hollywood's most famous walk, along with an everlasting one in the comedic world.
Kevin Hart is currently using a wheelchair, but his explanation to why might make you laugh.
To all my men, women out there that are 40 years old and above, it's not a game. Respect that age. Try to go out there and do some young man stuff, and I was told to sit my ass down.
Uh-oh, the 44-year-old comedian explains that he recently attempted to race former NFL running back Stephen Ridley in the 40-yard dash. Well, during the race, he tore his lower abdomen as well as muscles in his hip and thigh. Hart says it wasn't the actual racing that led to his injuries, but rather that he tried to do it in his 40s. You gotta chill. Take it easy, Kevin, take it easy. Well, some of the most talented gelato masters in the world are coming to LA. This is exciting. The best part, you have a chance to sample their creations. The Gelato Festival World Masters Competition features 12 skilled chefs. They'll be competing for the title of Best Gelato Master in North America. That's a big title. The two-day event takes place next weekend at Ovation Hollywood, located at Hollywood and Highland. Tickets start at just $25, which includes 6 tastings. And a $40 ticket will get you all 12. Yummy. One United Airlines flight traveling from Washington, D.C. to Madrid, Spain was a family affair.
Flight attendants in particular working with us today is not only an exceptional flight attendant, but also my exceptional mom. Today's the first time in 2 years that United were able to work together. She's been one of my biggest supporters in life and career in becoming a pilot ever since my very first flight lesson.
That's the pilot, Cole Doss, making the unexpected in-flight announcement to passengers that he was flying the plane where his mom was on board as one of the flight attendants. Apparently, the mom has been a flight attendant at United for more than 45 years. The pilot's father also worked in aviation, and most recently, his sister became a flight attendant as well. That is pretty cool. It's not often you get to work with mom, right? I hope it won't be the last time. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays from 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with the traffic reports throughout the morning. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.